Let me just see. I'm sort of on an angle, but I'm just going to leave it like that because good morning, everyone on the webinar. I'm just going to leave it like that on the Facebook Live because at least I'm the right way up. I just worked out that I was turning it around the other way. If you'd watched me and Amanda the other day in Mullaney or wherever we were, I think we were in Caloundra at the time. So good morning, everyone, for a dose of sunshine. And I'm in Hamilton Plains at the moment. Let me see if I can just fix that. Good morning, Marianne. Let me see if I can just fix that a little bit without freaking it out. Can it stay there? Yes, it can. So good morning, Irene. So I'm in Hamilton Plains. I've got a 7-hour drive after this up to Innisfail, and to me that means that's my destination because I'm in Innisfail for about from Monday to Friday, and then I do my first event in the Cairns area at Dragonfly Zen Cafe on Friday night, and then I head up the hill to Atherton, and Saturday morning I do an online Healing Your Inner Child workshop. So it's like a half-day workshop. I think it goes 9 till 12 or something like that. So so yes, I'm here. I'm actually in I should read the reviews. This was not like I thought it would be at Hamilton Plains, but it was okay. You know, I slept well. And yeah, so anyway, good morning, Helen. So today we're going to be talking about, so isn't it cool to be, wait a minute, can I just say, Queensland tour, I've been driving, like yesterday it was 5 hours, the day before that it was 7 hours, today is going to be 7 hours, and I can still get on with you guys and share my experience and still work. So I've got stuff that I'm doing along the way and sessions and my Conscious Creator Mastermind weekly recoding is on Wednesday, so I'll be doing that on at Innisfail. So it's just really, I feel really blessed to be able to live the life I love, right? And so, and that's sort of what I want to talk about today is what you resist, you owns you, right? If I put that right on the thing, because when you, who on here, good morning, Diane. So who on here has ever felt like they wanted to go one way and yet felt like they were being pushed the other way? So for example, you wanted to be more abundant with your money, like financial freedom, and yet you felt like you were constantly in sabotage and you felt like you were not able to create the money that you wanted, and you're always behind in paying for, you know, payments. Good morning, Tam. You're desperately wanting love, and then you know, you feel like you're always lonely. Who feels like everything that they choose, they end up getting the opposite of it? I'd love to have some feedback in the comments, because when we're creating and being a woman of light, being a woman that is here to embrace all aspects of herself. So a woman of light, in my opinion, is someone that is able to create from being a holographic experience of the whole. Someone that is full of consciousness, light consciousness, and so is able to consciously create their reality. And through that process, that, you know, when you're in that place, some people go, yeah, when you're a conscious creator, people will be selfish. Well, actually, when you're a woman of light, and all of your chakras are in alignment and your heart's open, and you feel your purpose through your solar plexus, and your sacral is, your emotional center is in balance, and your throat is able to express who you truly are because everything is in alignment, you're really very giving, because you understand that you're part of a whole picture. And so you're sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your wisdom, you're sharing your love, you're sharing your wealth, you're sharing all of those aspects of who you are, because you're also aware that when you share, you're supporting yourself through giving to others. And there's a fine line between giving when people are receiving in gratitude, and giving when people are in powerlessness, in power, and they're just taking, right? And so, being a woman of light, you're also in this place of strength and empowerment where you know where to cut it off. Sorry, I'm not going to give to you anymore, because you're not receiving it. As in the Bible, it says, throwing pearls to swine, right? And so there is all of these. Let me see if I can just take that off. Good morning, Tam. Good morning, Jabaroo. There is all of these. Good morning, Christine. Let me just, sometimes things I aim for don't occur the way I expect. No, not necessarily opposite, just different sometimes. Yeah. So the thing is, if we are experiencing ourselves as all of everything, then that means that when you are moving towards the life you love and creating your true nature and purpose, and you're moving towards what your desires are, then if you're rejecting another part of that, then that owns you, because you've still got a vibration holding you back. It's like two elastic bands. One's pulling you in this creative force towards your desired result, and the other one is pulling you back because you've still got this concern or worry about this other thing happening in your life. Death, for example. So many people worry about dying that they don't live. They don't enjoy their life. And it all can be unconscious. It can be all sabotage beliefs that are, or limiting beliefs. Some people are so concerned about being homeless or not having enough money, that energy is like an invisible thread is pulling them towards it, and it owns you, because when you can totally be encompassed with all of it, when you can be okay with the fact, I know I use it all the time, but I've got to use it again, because it was, to me, I just flowed through no worries. And yet I'm aware that on the outside, it looked like crazy, that I had no problem with the fact that I had a brain tumor, because I didn't reject it. Now, I really want you to hear this. 11 years ago, I had a 15-centimeter fibroid. I'd actually been pregnant, and I lost the baby. I was 20 weeks, 36-hour. It was intense. And I had a little girl, and then I had this fibroid for 2 months. It was on and off, but then 2 weeks, I was in pain. I was in pain every single night, really intense pain. And I was rejecting going to the hospital about it, because they said, because of my age and because how big the tumor, the fibroid was, they would have to take my uterus out, right? So I was rejecting going to the hospital. No one's going to cut me open with a knife, right? I did 2 weeks of that before I had this realization. All of a sudden, just had this realization, maybe I'm supposed to lose my uterus. Maybe I'm supposed to actually have my uterus taken out, right? And when I had that realization, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm holding on to a part of my body that's just my body. It's not my spiritual experience that I'm having. Maybe the spiritual experience that I'm having is a journey to be in hospital, to have my uterus cut out, so that something more than what I know can happen. That the little me, that's the ego that's here is in the powerless game, had no concept of. But the higher part of me, the source energy part of me, the wisdom, the empowered part of me, knew that that's what had to happen, right? So once I had that realization, I actually went, oh, okay, I'm just going to have it out. I'll just have my uterus taken out, totally fine. Long story short, I had 3 days. Once I made that decision, 3 days with no pain, and then started pain. And long story short, if I hadn't have made that decision when I did, I actually would have died, because when I did end up in hospital through a series of, I finally went to an emergency clinic and blah, blah, blah. The day I went in, I was having pain again severely. And the doctor went, oh my gosh, we've got to get her in now. And the next morning she said to me, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, worried that you were going to go. She said, you were so close. Now, because of that experience, who would have known that years and years, 11 years later, I have the experience of a brain tumor, and I know, don't play around with this, and went straight into which direction am I going? Am I going to heal this myself, or am I going to go to the doctor's route? Which one am I doing? And I went straight into that. Even my daughter, because when I had to make the decision, I had a bit of a meltdown on the Saturday about having to take steroids, right? And she has a laugh to me. She says, oh my gosh, Mum, the fact that you've got a tumor doesn't seem to have phased you, but because you've got to have steroids, you're in tears, right? I don't like putting stuff like that in my body. And I hadn't quite made the decision or which route I had to go. And that was my crux, which one? I've got to make a decision, and I've got to take this if that's the case, right? And as you all know, I went down the hospital route. So I didn't reject any of it. I didn't reject the fact that I was going to have, like, they gave me a needle. They were giving me needles to thin my blood afterwards. I nearly reject that for a moment until they told me what it was about. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for the whole experience. Go for it, right? There was so many aspects to it, and I didn't reject any of it, because all of it was who I see. All of it as me. All of it was my experience, because it was happening to me. So when you reject something, you're actually pulling away from it, and it's owning you. It's still part of your frequency, and it actually can cause a big shift in your energy. It can be like vibrating out there in your field without you even knowing it, and causing you not to be able to consciously create the life that you desire, because there's no pure, clear focus towards that, because you've got this other thing that's in the background that you're not even aware of. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like someone freaking out about being robbed, their house being robbed, right? So constantly worrying about their house being robbed, right? Now, you can do that. You can constantly worry, or you can lock your house up and get an alarm system or a security guard or whatever, and take measures that you need to know. Thank you, Irene. You can take measures to understand, okay, this is a possibility. This is something that can happen. You can get a brain tumor. or you can get a fibroid, or you can, you know, like, we're having a physical experience. No one is outside of that. Jesus was killed on the cross. Like, he went through major pain. Everyone is here to experience life. And so when you're rejecting an aspect of that, is going to pull you towards it, or at least cause a confusion in your frequency, so that you are unable to just clearly create the life you love. And there's another part to this. You have to remember that creating the life you love is not controlling the life you love. It's being aware that this is my desired outcome, and what the steps are in between, I may not know, and it might not turn up how you think it will. Like Diane said in the note in the chat here, you know, often it turns up not exactly how you think. Yeah, take action rather than worry and create the worry. Absolutely. Absolutely no worries, Christine. I'm sure that we'll catch up at Janelle's house. Know why I'm giving this no expectation. So is this landing for everyone? Is everyone getting this? This is why I've got to tell you, the recoding that I'm doing with the Conscious Creator Mastermind, we clear all of this tension, the psychological tension that's pulling you back, and we clear it so that there's no emotional charge around it, and we're moving out of that old structure of limiting beliefs and moving into the structure of just being in this clear flow, this beautiful path that's moving us towards. And oh my gosh, are we getting some amazing results. There's one woman, I don't know if she wants to share on here that, oh, she's not on here at the moment, but that's just had a massive experience. I'll wait until she gives me the okay to share it with everyone. And Marianne, I know that you've had a massive, you know, like the fact that your health and vitality is changed and having no charge around or sabotage beliefs around it. That's so beautiful. There is just so many things. You know, people are having amazing experiences through this whole process. So if you're interested in Conscious Creator, just let us know, maybe PM us, and we can send you some details, or just check to see if you're if we're a match, really, just to see if you're going to be someone that's going to be able to sit in Conscious Creator with the group of women. Yeah, feeling good about you. No challenges, feeling good. That's so good, Marianne. It's so good to be able to experience that, right? So thank you, Irene. So also, just to let you know, while I'm on the road trip, there's a bit of a bonus with Conscious Creator. So if you're seriously wanting to create the life you love, and I think a lot of people think that they're living the life they love, but not necessarily. They're just settling for the life that they love. So and they make excuses about it. So if you're interested in finding out more, or you want to work on chakras and stuff, Awaken the Lioness is a great course as well. So just get in contact with us, PM us or whatever. However, if you're on Facebook Live with us at the moment, jump on over to the webinar. Irene's going to put the link in so that you can come and do the visualization where we're going to clear some of this stuff, the concern. So and I'm heading to Innisfail. I'll take some photos. So tomorrow I'm having a photo shoot. So we might even do a Facebook Live in with like, it's going to be a little bit funny. I'm not one to like being in the limelight. I remember when I got married, I was so embarrassed that everyone was looking at me. So Many people try to control every aspect of their lives. Yes, so true. Yeah. And make excuses about feeling like, you know, it's, I'm doing this for this or whatever. And it's a very different experience when you start sharing and being able to truly come from a true choice without those limiting beliefs. Okay. Take care, everyone, on Facebook Live. We will catch you next Monday or for Wednesday Wisdom. We also have our workshop on this weekend. I think I put the link in just on the weekend. So if you're interested in that, we're talking about being the inner child and working with the inner child and clearing some of that old story. So if you're interested, look in here, or even put half day in there, and we'll be able to send you the link. Take care, everyone. Enjoy. Okay. Let me just stop that and the noise. Okay, how is everyone?